For more, we are now being joined by retired Colonel Rich Outson, a senior fellow at the Atlantic Council and the Jamestown Foundation. He's joining us live from Washington, D.C. Rich, great to see you again. The question many are asking is, will Benjamin Netanyahu change his stance? Will U.S. pressure work to stop or alter the Rafah operations?
I think not stop, but yes, alter. The problem is that when we talk of Rafah, there's actually two separate problems. One is the massive camp for displaced people and civilians, many of whom are suffering from material want and need and hunger. And this is part of the demand of Washington, is that the Israeli operation can't just focus on destroying the military forces in and under Rafah. 4 battalions of Hamas fighters that are still there, roughly 3,000 people by most estimates. But for this over a million person population, what plans are in place to ensure that they are moved out of harm's way, that there are not civilian casualties? What is the comprehensive plan for relief after the operation? These are the kind of details that would constitute an important alteration that Washington is demanding. But the other part of the problem is under Rafah, and that is the fact that of all the tunnels and all the military infrastructure underground in Gaza, the thickest and the densest spot is in fact in Rafah. This is where most of the smuggling to and from Egypt has happened for decades now. So that is a tough nut to crack. So when Washington says go in small, do precise strikes, only counterterrorism, only high value targets, Israel says if we do that, we're just leaving the problem in place.
Anthony Blinken said that 100% of Gazans face famine. Can the U.S. ensure more aid into Gaza? And if so, how?
Well, there's a couple of ways that could be done. And one of them is started on a very small scale, sort of maritime deliveries coming from Cyprus. So aid goes to Cyprus, is inspected by security officials, then brought to an area where by boats. And I think there's an idea for a pier to be built over time that can be expanded. But to be honest, for the level of hunger and need in Gaza, that maritime option is probably not enough. There needs to be an opening, especially for northern Gaza, of either Karni or one of the other crossings there, so that massive trucks can come in. There is some aid still coming in from the south. The problem is that Hamas is instrumentalizing it and distributing it and using this aid to cement its hold on the people. But the truth is, yes, the U.S. can and should be pressuring Israel and providing resources for both more land crossings of goods and to speed up this maritime option.
Yeah, well, we do know that Israel plans to send a delegation to Washington very soon. We'll be keeping an eye on that as well. Rich, thank you so much for joining us on WION. I look forward to speaking to you again very soon.
Thank you, Susan.
For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.